God of creation, there at the start, before the beginning of time. With no point of reference, you spoke through the dark and fleshed out the wonder of life. And as you speak, 100 billion galaxies are born. In the vapor of your breath, the planets form. If the stars were made to worship so alive, I can see your heart in everything you made. Every burning star, a signal fire of grace. If creation sings your praises so alive, God of your promise, you don't speak in vain, no syllable empty or void. For once you have spoken, all nature and sights follow the sound of your voice. And as you speak, 100 billion creatures catch your breath, evolving in pursuit of what you said. And if it all reveals your nature so alive, I can see your heart in everything you say. Every painted sky, the canvas of your grace. And if creation still obeys you so alive, so alive. Stars were made to worship so alive. If the mountains bow in reverence so alive, and if the oceans roar your greatness so alive, for if everything exists to lift you high, so alive. And if the wind goes where you send it, so alive. If the rocks cry out in silence, so alive. And if the sum of all our praises still falls shine, then we'll sing again 100 billion times. Salvation, you chased down my heart through all of my failure and pride. On a hill you created, the light of the world, abandoned in darkness to die. And as you speak, 100 billion failures disappear. where you lost your life so I could find it here. If you left the grave behind you so alive, I can see your heart in everything you've done. Every part designed in a work of art called love. You gladly chose surrender, so will I can see your heart 8 billion different ways. Every precious one, a child you died to save. If you gave your life to love them so alive, like you would again 100 billion times. But what measure could amount to your desire? You're the one who never leaves the one behind.
Ben and Joel, good to see you guys.
Good to see you, man.
It's awesome to be here with both of you, and just because you kind of lead in different places. Joel's in New York, you're in Sydney, the city campus, and but you guys have come together, and this song, So Will I, is just amazing. I mean, we were just sitting around the table kind of listening through the new music, you know, at Worship Together Capitol, and the song came on, and I think it got done, and we were all just kind of like just wiping eyes and everything, and it's really one of those songs that it's just the full picture of the gospel, you know, kind of from creation to the end. And it's such a unique song too, in that the way you guys crafted the lyric, it's almost like a psalm in that it takes on, you know, there's a rhythm to it in the lyric, but also it's uncovering a little bit of who God is along the way. But maybe Ben, start with you and talk about, like, you know, just the starting of the song, how you guys ended up working on it together. And
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, it's like, to us, it's a really special song. It was a lot of fun to write. It initially started like a year ago, and at that point it was a much shorter song. And then when Joel heard it, he came back with like 1,000 lyrics and made it infinitely better, as he does. And yeah, so much of it I think just came out of great conversation. And it kind of feels to me like every line was a bit of a revelation we had, or something that we were really stoked on when it came to God. I remember one night in the studio we were talking about that line, "As you speak," and you know, God spoke however many years ago, and the universe is still expanding, trying to catch up with what He said, or God spoke, and creation is still being sustained in that same breath. Or on the cross, Jesus said, "It is finished," and 100 billion failures disappear, and the kingdom is gradually being restored around the earth. And so I just think, I remember that being such a great conversation.
We probably talked more than we did wrote lyrics.
Yeah.
Just talking about God.
Awesome.
Yeah.
well, Joel, talk a little bit about just the development of the song, like idea-wise, because I know a lot of the way you work on songs. I mean, it seems like in today's music culture, a lot of songs kind of stop within like a 10-hour period. It's like we wrote it, we're done, we're moving on. And but I know you go back often, and you're just always sanding and always really going back over the lyric, and you can really tell that in this song. But talk about just how this kind of unfolded into really kind of these chapters of a song.
Yeah, I mean, it's a story, you know, and I think once we started kind of just telling the story of who God was, it started with light, because that was where it was, and that's how God kind of started the whole thing. It's just like every single time we turned a page, it just felt like then there was another page to turn.
Yeah.
And you know, I know that sometimes it can be unhelpful to, like, you can put too much into a song lyrically, and I think we probably did at some points. Like we took a lot more lyrics out than we ended up.
Yeah.
You had to tone a bunch back.
Yeah.
But it was just, I mean, it was actually, like Ben said, it was just one of those really fun processes where it was like a lot of work, but it was like I didn't want to do anything else, just wanted to keep seeing where we could land. And I know for me, often when you start with a song, you might have a lyric that's great, that's right there when you write the song. And sometimes I just need to I want to go through, like go around the whole world, so to speak, to come back and know, I know we were in the right place to start. And sometimes you move away from where you started and you find out there's something like that's better or more fitting. And I just enjoy the process. And this was really, really fun because Ben is such an incredibly gifted writer, and it was like every single time we would be just throwing thoughts at each other, and I'd be like, I think we've got a great lyric, and then he'd be like, oh yeah, that's great, what about this? And I'd be like, yeah, no, that's better. And then I'd be like, what about this? And then he'd be like, yeah, it's pretty good too. So it was just kind of that process, and it was super fun. And I think we were, like I just said, we'd be writing lyrics, but we were just talking about God and just who he is and how he works, and it kind of ended up in the song in a really unique way. And on the last, Ben was, we were going to have one of the other guys sing the song, and Ben went in to sing the demo, and he starts singing just the demo, and I turned to Mikey, and we just looked at each other and went, yeah, no, Ben needs to sing this song. and then on the last night we were recording, the song was pretty much finished, to be honest. And the music, there was still a little space of music at the end, and we were just going to repeat basically the bridge. And then it was just like this thought of, we talk about the magnitude of God, and it's amazing, and it's hard to wrap words around who he is. And so we thought, well, if we just add more zeros to 10,000, like that, it's, 10,000 reasons was great. We just thought we'd go with 100 billion. Not really, but when we started talking about the magnitude of it, something felt a little bit off right at the very end, and it was just more that for all the bigness of God, all the mystery that we can't comprehend and can't put a number to, sometimes it felt cheap going 100 billion. And so that's the conversation. And it was like, well, what if we just kind of brought it back to the essence of who God really is? Because he's always been about the individual, the one. And it was one of those kind of happy accidents where it kind of at the very end it was like, hey, let's just go, you do it again 100 billion times, but what measure could amount to your desire? How can you put a measure on God's love other than he's the one who never leaves the one behind? And it was like, oh, that's great. And then afterwards we're like, whoa, and it's called So Will I, because there's something about everything that God does. Our job is just to respond and to give ourselves to the same thing. And that, it just made a lot of sense. And so, yeah, it's one of those songs. Yeah.
Right. And it's really cool to see people respond. You guys did a live set here in Nashville last night, and most people hadn't had a long time to live with the music, whatever. As soon as you guys start singing the song, there were moments in the song where people were just it's like cheering, for what was being said. And I think there's those songs there's songs you sing, and then there's songs that actually preach to your soul, and this is one of those songs that really does that. So it's super great. So Ben, walk us through what you're playing. This some pretty simple chords. A lot of the work in this song is in the lyric, and and so the music underneath is actually pretty simple.
Yeah, that's right. So in the verse here, we start. We did today in G. On the record, it's in A, but we brought it down today, and it starts on the C, the 4, to the 6, E minor, to the 5, D, back to the 4, and then going into the chorus, we just pass on the 1/3 to the 5, then chorus as you 1, G. 100 billion 6, catch your 5.
Very helpful.
Yeah. And da 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 1/3 to the 4. If it does 6 and a 4, so will 1. Plays through like that for the rest of the chorus, and then the turnaround is actually pretty much half of the chorus progression. So will I 1 6 5. Pass on the 3 again, and then you're into the verse. God of your promise, and that's pretty much it. The bridge
It's
just
the same.
it just does the 4 5 6 thing. 4 6 5.
Yeah, I forgot how simple it is.
Yeah, it is actually. Yeah.
And kind of moves like a hymn.
Yeah.
The chords, but it kind of moves like a hymn. The passing notes and everything, and so it.
Yeah.
I think when we started I don't know if we were thinking this is going to be a song that people would sing in church.
Yeah, no,
even when it was finished. And I think we allowed ourselves to write some lyrics, some thoughts, like the 8 billion. I see your heart 8 billion different ways. I don't know. We thought, let's just put a number in. Let's put the population of the earth in, approximately. Yeah. But then it was really funny because people started singing it. And then I was thinking, hang on, all these, a lot of these hymns that are built on stanzas that we've learned over the years, their words aren't repetitive. You know, there's often hooks in there, but so I was like, oh, hang on, maybe people will sing it, and they have been.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
I like singing it.
It's amazing. Such a great song, guys, and thanks so much for sitting down and sharing it with us.
Thanks, Jimmy.
And as you speak, 100 billion creatures catch your breath.
Take all I have in these hands and multiply, God, all that I am, and find my heart on the altar again. Set me on fire, set me on fire. Oh, take all I have in these hands and multiply, God, all that I am, and find my heart on the altar again. Set me on fire, set me on fire. Here I am, God, arms wide open, pouring out my life, gracefully broken. My heart stands in awe of your name. Your mighty love stands strong to the end. You will fulfill your purpose for me. You won't forsake me. You will be with me. Here I am, God, arms wide open, pouring out my life, gracefully broken. Here I am, God, arms wide open. Here I am, pouring out my life, gracefully broken. Oh, gracefully, all to Jesus now, all to Jesus now, holding nothing back, holding nothing back. I surrender, I surrender, I surrender, I surrender. Here I am, God, arms wide open. Here I am, pouring out my life, gracefully broken, pouring out my life again. Here I am, God, arms wide open, pouring out my life, gracefully broken. Here I am, God, arms wide open, pouring out my life, gracefully broken.
Well, Matt, thanks for sharing the song with us. Man, what an amazing song. This lyric and this theme is so powerful. And talk about the song a little bit. I know you wrote this with some friends, Tasha Cobbs Leonard, and also Jonas. And I think a couple other people were writing on the song as well.
Well, this song started life in Sacramento in a little hotel business room or something with Jonas Marin, Brian and Katie Torwalt and myself, and that's how the verses were formed. And it initially sat around for a while, and I kept thinking, how do we finish this song and does it feel right? And then Tasha Cobbs Lennon got in touch, and she said, hey, you and Jonas want to write together, and she's got a real heart for just bridging together some of the streams of the church. And I'm really kind of in the same place, to be honest. I'd done an event with her before and thought, man, she's just carrying something so amazing, and some of the streams of the church, I'm traveling a lot, she's not around us. So we thought, let's spend some time together, write some songs together. That's awesome. And this song, Gracefully Broken, is one of the songs that came out of it. She's recorded it, and I've done it too. And you know, I love this theme. It's this sense that even in our brokenness, you know, there's a measure of brokenness, isn't there, when you're a worshiper, when you bring your offering, when you're having God shape your life. But even the brokenness, it's unkindly, it's ungracefully, and there's no cruelty in it, and there's no harshness in it, and I love that.
Yeah, I love that. It seems like it would be like a C.S. Lewis line, but it's such a great concept of when we're honest before God, it's a scary thing, yeah. and to be opened up like that. But it's God's grace that comes in a loving way and really just puts its arms around us in that moment.
That's
so
it's
just a beautiful image there.
Yeah, and so it's just a lovely moment. And you know, it's beautiful that she's ended up singing on the record.
Yeah,
too.
It's amazing. Well, walk us through what you're playing. So you're actually doing a step down from the recording.
Yeah, we're in A on the recording. I have actually led it in G. Quite often I'm in A flat here, and I'm just playing like a D chord, which obviously, sorry, no, a C sharp chord, and everything to me is always on capo. So I'm
take
all I have in these hands and multiply, God, all that I am, and find my heart on the altar again, set me on fire. Super simple. And we're getting to the minor. Here I am, God, arms wide open. Very simple progression for the chorus, and then the only other section of the song, the bridge, very similar chords again. All to Jesus now, all to Jesus now, holding nothing back, holding nothing back. So it's always going E minor, C, G, D. Nothing complicated in this song at all, but I like the way you can pace it. You can start real down, and it's just like, it's kind of slow build song that kind of takes off at some point.
Yeah, and I love that little vamp section at the end where Tasha comes in, and it's that little walk up there, but it's...
Yeah, we've got a beautiful little
just
moment
beautiful. You think
like,
the song's over, and it's like, oh, it's just like another part here.
And it's kind of an optional part, you know, because if you don't have for me singing it in a male key, if I don't have a female singer with me, it's kind of hard to incorporate that. So you can not do it, or you can put it in. It's just a walk-up thing. Your power at work in me, I'm broken gracefully, I'm strong when I am weak, I will be free. Yeah, wherever you want to go.
Yeah, that's great. Man, thanks so much for sharing the song with us.
Pleasure,
I can't wait for the church to hear it.
So glad.
Here I am, God, arms wide open. When I was searching, your love was never far. You made a way to get to me. You were the whisper leading me to your heart. Forever I belong to you. Now I can see clearly, my God, you for me. You won't let go. Your love won't let me down. And I know it's true. Yeah, I know that your love is all around. I believe in you, holding on to you, holding on, and I know you will never fail. I want all of you, you'll never change. Your love won't let me down. Love won't let you. You listen as I pray. You leave the 99 for me. You paint the sky with promises of your grace. So I will find my way to you. Now I can see clearly, my God, you for me. You won't let go. Your love won't let me down. And I know it's true. Yeah, I know that your love is all around. I believe in you, holding on to you, holding on, and I know you will never fail. I want all of you, you never change. Your love won't let me down. Love won't let me down. Holding on, and I know you will never fail. I want all of you, you'll never change. Your love won't let me down. Love won't let me.
Well, hey everyone, welcome. I am here with some of the Young and Free crew, Alex, Laura and Mike. Thanks for being here today.
Thanks for having us.
Now, we're talking about this brand new song, Love Won't Let Me Down, and you've just showed us this song, a great version, very different to the recording. Let's talk a little bit about the writing of the song. I know you guys wrote this song together.
Yes.
Take us to that moment. How did the song come about?
Yeah, well, we write a lot together, which is really fun, and the method in which we get there is often very different. And this one in specific was one of the most unique days I feel like I've had of writing, and it was just kind of this dynamic of we kind of saw some gold in what we were searching for, but it took us a while to find it. And Mike can talk a little bit about that.
Well, yeah, I feel like we kind of exhausted every option, trying a whole bunch of different vibes, different chords, different tempos, even different lyric ideas. But there was always like maybe a couple small parts of a melody that meant that we wanted to keep going at it. And then I think it was towards the end of the day, like that night, when that theme, the title, Love Won't Let Me Down, kind of came. And that really resonated with both of us. And from there, the song kind of came together straight away. Would have been a couple hours, which felt like no time.
Yeah. Yeah, around 9 p.m. after starting at 10 a.m. But it was awesome. It's like Michael said, Love Won't Let Me Down, that theme and that concept really resonated with me. Essentially sitting there that day and wondering, what is the truth that I want to sing? What is the truth that I want to pen that is going to be able to put in people's mouths, that they're going to sing something, and that truth, that God's love, Jesus' love, isn't going to fail us. And yeah, I think what I love about this song is the story and the picture that it paints as well within the verses, that we often think on our journey and our relationship with Jesus that, his path is this straight journey, and we sort of will drift off and we think, oh, we've got to get back to God some way. But I think the beauty of Jesus and relationship with him is that he's constantly pursuing us, that maybe we do drift a little bit away, but like it says in the second verse, is that you would leave the 99 for me, that he's relentlessly pursuing us. And no matter where we go, no matter what we do, that this relationship with Jesus is never going to fail us. It's never going to let us down, and it's always going to be with us. So it was a fun song to write, and we're excited. We're excited
that's
about
great.
it.
Well done, guys. Laura, can you just talk to us about this writing process? You guys are in a writing season.
Yeah.
You've been away for a bit. You're home at the moment, and you're writing. What does that look like for the Young and Free crew?
Yeah, well, I think it always looks a little bit different just depending on where we are and who we're with and so on. A lot of it comes out of conversation, talking about whether it's, personal experience or thinking of, young people, we all work with young people, and Young and Free, you know, that's what we're about, and what we're meant to bring is a song for them. And so that's why I love a song like this, because working with a lot of young people, you see so many relationships that do let them down or do fail them. And so to be able to create such a high energy vibe, and that's full of freedom and that's full of joy and kind of has that triumphant kind of tone to it, and to be able to declare that, you know, the love of God won't let them down, I think is really powerful. And so I think it looks different all the time, but hopefully, you know, it's effective.
It's good. I love it. My kids love this song, so I'm glad they're going to be singing this song on Friday night. Let's talk through some of the chords. And you've done this today. You did it in a different key than the recording, right?
Yeah, that's right. I didn't want to have to scream at you today, so we took it down just a step. So we're playing it in the key of F. So I'm playing on acoustic with capo 1 in E form, and just sort of playing these nice finger picking chords. Just.
Very nice, tasty.
Thank you.
Very nice.
Thank you, thank you.
Now, we've talked about the fact this is very different version. You've done a very different version today than the recording, but you added a couple of melodies. Mike, do you just want to show us some of the melodies that you added specifically in the chorus there that have helped this new version?
It's kind of after the chorus in the drop section. Obviously, we don't have like a dance track today, so still looking for ways to give it a lift and something fresh. So there's this counter melody that comes in against the drop. My piano part was going... And Laura was singing the same top line, which was a counter melody to what Pappas was singing, which is the main part.
Yeah, I think it went really well. Do you guys want to try that right now, just to show us how that worked in with the main melody?
Yeah, sure. Goes a little something like this. Love won't let me down, 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 down. Love won't let me down.
Great.
Yeah, when we were coming up with that, we sort of, obviously we don't have a giant track doing something cool behind it, carrying that moment. So if we were to want to execute this in a different setting, we just talked about, rather than us just trying to sing that really quick melody of down, because it wouldn't sound very good, simplifying it, and again, rather than just singing block chords or block harmonies over it, we just talked about throwing a counter melody over it, and I think it's nice.
Yeah, I think it's great. So Laura, what do you think? I'm a worship leader. I'm watching this video right now, and I'm getting my songs ready for Sunday morning. Is this a song that I could look at?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think sometimes we can be a little bit apprehensive, you know, on a Sunday morning in particular, with a song like this, especially the original kind of version with the track and so on. But, you know, we've seen it, you know, work and bring that energy and bring that just positivity and that freedom and that joy that I talked about. And so, you know, I would say song 1, like, that's a great place to put it. Or if you're doing it in a more intimate kind of setting in the version like we did today, you could even, you know, song 3 or so on. It's a beautiful, worshipful kind of vibe as well.
Yeah. Well done, guys. It's a really, really great song. Congratulations. Thanks for being here today.
Your love won't let me down. Love won't let me.
Break down the walls, push back the dark, light of the world, move in our hearts. There's a stirring in the spirit, heaven, something holy, can you feel it, heaven? Let your glory and your power, let your majesty and word flood the earth, flood the earth. to leave, pain has to go, darkness retreat. Every heart here finding healing, heaven. In this moment, you're revealing heaven. Let your glory and your power, let your majesty and worth flood the earth, flood the earth. Let the rumors of your kingdom, let your name without reserve flood the earth, flood the earth. Ooh, come and move. We invite your presence again and again and again. Break down the walls, push back the dark, light of the world, move in our hearts, heaven. Flood the earth. Break down the walls, push back the dark, light of the world, move in our hearts, heaven. Flood the earth. 'Cause freedom is here, fear has to leave, pain has to go, darkness retreat, heaven. Flood the earth. Oh, freedom is here, fear has to leave, pain has to go, darkness retreat, heaven. Flood the earth. Let your glory and your power, let your majesty and worth flood the earth, flood the earth. Let the rumors of your kingdom, let your name without reserve flood the earth, flood the earth. Let your glory and your power, let your majesty and worth flood the earth. Come flood the earth. Let the rumors of your kingdom, let your name without reserve flood the earth. Come flood the earth.
Brian and Katie, good to see you guys.
Good to see you, Jimmy.
Thanks for sharing this song with us. Man, on the new Jesus Culture record, a song called Flood the Earth.
Yeah.
And Katie, maybe start with you and like talk about, I love the things around this song. It really is a prayer and just asking God to come and do what only He can do. But talk about this song and just the ideas. I know you wrote this with some friends as well.
Yep. One of our friends, Mia Field, who's an amazing writer here in Nashville, brought a piece of this song to us, and she said initially it just reminded her of us, and as soon as I heard it, she just sang it for us a cappella actually the first time, just a little piece of it, and the first time I heard it I was like, I could sing this all day. First of all, I love the declaration, I love the prayer. It's sort of an invitation, you know, and some of the song was done, like I said before, but then we actually wrote onto it and finished it with her, and at our house in Sacramento at home, and one of the parts that means a ton to me is the second verse, and it's really a prophetic declaration. Freedom is here, fear has to leave, pain has to go, darkness retreat. And for me, that's what it looks like when heaven comes, when heaven floods the earth. That is the response. That's what that's the effect that heaven has, is pain. There's no more pain. There's no more fear. Darkness, there's no place for darkness. And so that is one of my favorite parts of the song to sing. I probably repeat it too much live when we sing it, but it is just a powerful moment, and we've sung it at church a whole bunch, and it's just been really fun to sing with our congregation throughout different seasons, seeing God use it and move through that declaration and remind people of the truth, remind people of what it looks like when heaven invades earth.
Yeah.
So.
And Brian, we were talking about just the power of songs like this where you're singing things in the present that are still, maybe for some people are yet to come, or maybe that's not the season they're in, but you're speaking that kind of over their situation.
Yeah, there's something so powerful about declaring what God has on his heart, what we see in Scripture, and just declaring it as a congregation in one, in unity. And there's so much power. We've seen God do so many things in moments like that. So this song, we feel like, can be one of those moments in a Sunday morning or a conference or whatever. So
yeah, that's amazing. Well, walk us through what you're playing. You're capo 4?
Capo 4, key of B. The beginning of the song is all keys and Katie just singing, but it's real simple. It's a G sharp minor to the B to the F sharp. So 6, 1, 5. And then the second part of the verse, pre-chorus, it goes to the 2, which is the C sharp minor. We normally just write 4 chords in a song, but we felt like, mixing it up a little bit. But so it goes to the 2, C sharp minor to the B to the 4, which is the E, and it just holds that until you get to the chorus. To the let your glory and your power to the G sharp minor, majesty and word, and it just hovers on that forever for the chorus. And then verse 2 is the same as verse 1, and then the bridge, there's 2 sections of the bridge, and it goes real simple from the 6, 4, 1, 5, the G sharp minor to the E to the B F sharp, and then the second half to the freedom is here. It just starts to walk up. Just the 4, the E. The fear has to leave. G sharp minor, B. And 5/7. And then E. The fear has to leave, pain has to go, darkness retreat, heaven. E, F sharp, and then C sharp minor. Let your glory, and then back to the chorus. Yeah. So there you go.
Like repeat 10 times.
Repeat 10 times.
Yeah.
Just keep going it over and over. That's the bridge section that we just will go over and over and over again. For
Absolutely.
Sure. But,
well, guys, thanks for sharing the song with us.
Absolutely.
Really great. Well done.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
David, Ed, good to have you guys here today. We're listening to a song called All My Hope, and this is pretty gospel. Ed was playing the piano just a minute ago, getting ready to do this, and it's fun. And so before we play it, just want to have you guys talk about it and hear the story behind it.
Absolutely. Well, I don't know. Every time I go, I was just telling Ed a while ago, one of my favorite places on the planet, Ed has this little, like when you get, I always take Uber when I'm in Nashville, Tennessee, where he lives. Actually, it is in like Franklin, Tennessee, which is like a more pleasant version of Nashville. It's like real nice. Like even Comcast people are nice there. It's like amazing. And so, but I've always got Uber, and the Uber drops me off at your place. First of all, it's like weird to tell them where to take me, and they feel like it's like we're going into nowhere, and we go into nowhere, and then they take me up your little gravel driveway and they drop me off. And my favorite place is where I go into your house. And there's like this little, there's a porch. There's like a proper porch over to your left side of things, but then there's like a little porch that I go into that has a door, I guess, for people like me to come into your house. Like not the front door, but like another side door kind of thing. Like you won't let me come through the front door or something like that. But anyway, it's my favorite place, that porch. How many lyrics have happened sitting on that porch? It's amazing. So I walk up that porch into Ed's domain, and he's like, "Hey man, I'm thinking about this. And then this happens.
Yeah, it was kind of fun.
Does that mean you guys are going to play?
Yeah, it was
it's
crazy.
kind of
He was telling me about. I just had
the record. Yeah, the
he
record,
had. You
man.
hadn't even. This was kind of another one of the, like that. The way that picture sort of showed up with the title on it, we were like, "What the heck?" I remember about this. That like you hadn't even really told me the vision for what your
for the American Prodigal record.
American Prodigal, where you were going with it, you know. But in my mind, I had you on my mind, and I was just, dorking around with this idea. I mean, it's definitely a bit old school, but you have such a roots thing about you. I've always loved that. You have such a true artistry and a love for like the just everything that is the purest form of music. I think that's what shows up in a lot of your stuff. So it was cool to just have this rough idea.
That was what's crazy. And so then when he starts playing this, I'm like, oh my word, this is like an anchor track. This is like when you drop the anchor and it has root in something that everything else will hinge on. And then so not just like for the thematic content of the record, but just in terms of like the church and the moment that we exist in right now currently, and how in the world we could say something that bonds us in a deep way. Just a simple, all my hopes in Jesus, like that's oh man. So I don't know. It's one of those deals. We kept saying this throughout the process of this whole record, is like I would be like, dude, do you ever feel like you're barely here? Like you're just barely here, and things are coming through you, like an Old Testament character or something, where it's like you're being used, but you're the most unlikely person that he should be breathing through. No doubt. And this was one of those songs, like I'm like, oh my gosh, I would sing like a line and we would look at each other and be like, what in the world, bro?
Yeah.
Like it just felt like, this ain't us, man. And that's the best feeling you could ever have, messing around with music and trying to say something on behalf of the church. Is like, that's the best feeling you can have. It's like, I don't even know. We'll probably look real clever but we aren't. Something just breathed in that room that day and it was on that front porch.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, let's hear it.
I've been held by the Savior. I felt fire from above. I've been down to that river. I ain't the same. A prodigal returned. Oh, my hope is in Jesus. Thank God my yesterday's gone. Oh, my sins are forgiven. Oh, I've been washed by the blood.
So we're gonna make everybody go listen to the record to hear the rest of it.
Yeah, a little taste. Yeah, a little. It's, I guess it's just like a chorus. I mean, a verse, chorus, verse, chorus, verse, chorus. Yeah, it's awesome. And double chorus at the end. Everything else. There's no bridge or nothing.
Yeah. Well, Ed, I'm watching your hands that whole time, and I think we're going to have the sheet music for this one. But what can we learn from you right now?
Yeah, I mean, it's,
playing
there's some little, there's a lot in that old, gospel stuff. There's a lot of those, I call them slippery notes, but this stuff's not really necessary to pull the song off.
I like the slippery notes.
I do too, I mean. So yeah, it's just and some of these chords I don't even know the names of.
Well, just play it and people can figure it out.
So it's I think think the song is actually in B flat. When I turned 40, I made a decision I wasn't going to play anything except in C. So I'm transposed. Simplify my life. So I'm playing it in C. I'll call out the numbers. So it just starts on a 1, and it just kind of walks up 1. It's almost kind of a lean on me-ish type deal. You know, so it's 1, 2, 1 over 3, 4. And you can sneak a little flat 7, or yeah, flat 7. Just quick to it, and then 1, 1, 2, 1 over 3, 5, and then that, which is a 4 over 5. That chord shows up quite a bit. So it'd be like in C, it's a G in the bass with an F on top. So that's kind of the intro and verse picture, you know. And then 6, and then 5, and then 1, 4, and then to a 1 over 5, and then a 4 over 5, and then a 1, and then a little quick 4 over 5 right before the chorus. And the chorus is kind of very similar. It might be the exact same chorus. Let me walk through it just to make sure. 1, and then that same walk up. 2, 1 over 3, 4, and I sneak that flat 7. And the way you kind of do that is you just like go that B flat real quick in C, and but again the song's in A flat, so you're gonna have to transpose it. How confusing is that?
He put a capo on the keyboard, really did.
And then a 5, and that's a 4 over 5 again. My sins. 2, 1 over 3, 4, same little move, and then one new chord here for the chorus would be, which
That's a good chord.
I don't know what that guy is called. It's some kind of a diminished. So if you're playing in F, you would just raise the, if it's first inversion F, you know, F, A, C, you would just raise that F up to an F sharp, and then.
So what notes are you playing right there?
Yeah, so that's a F sharp in the bass, and then the chord is an F sharp, an A, and a D. So the 4 to the, just a little diminished raise, and then, or excuse me, the 1. So let me go through that again. So, oh, my hope is in Jesus. Oh, yesterday's gone. All my sins are forgiven. Then a 1 over 5. 4 over 5. Been washed by the one.
There you have it. The transposing thing is totally cool. I'm glad I'm not the only one. So.
Oh man.
And in main stage you can just hide it. You put it in the program and nobody even knows.
If a guy's good enough to play in A flat, then he won't have any problem transposing that.
For the rest of us, we can do that.
That's right.
So the capo.
That's right, capo piano.
Cool. Thank you guys for sharing it with us. Appreciate you coming by today.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank God my yesterday.
Sunrise, you brought the sun into my dark night. Wide-eyed, you brought the color to my black and white. Ooh, feel like I'm living for the first time. Ooh, and I'm dancing in your light. This is what freedom feels like. This is what freedom feels like. This is what freedom feels like. This is what freedom feels like, feels like. Landslide, your love came crashing into my life. High tide, your grace is washing every wrong right. Ooh, feel like I'm living for the first time. Ooh, and now I'm dancing in your light. This is what freedom feels like. This is what freedom feels like. This is what freedom feels like. This is what freedom feels like, feels like. I was lost and your love came to find me. I was blind till you showed me my victory. I was bound and you set me free. Now I'm alive, I'm alive. This is what freedom feels like. This is what freedom feels like. Oh, this is what freedom feels like. This is what freedom feels like, feels like. This is what freedom feels like. This is what freedom feels like. This is what freedom, this is what freedom. Oh, oh, that's what freedom feels like.
Man, that was fun. I love this song, What Freedom Feels Like. Just what's the story behind it? I love that it's upbeat, and just tell us a little bit of the heart behind it.
So it's just a fun song, you know, and I really, when I was writing this song, I was thinking about it in that first song out of the gate in church, just that upbeat song. And, you know, I really wanted to paint a picture. I got the idea first of just the hook, What Freedom Feels Like. And I'm like, man, like, there's something that happens whenever you first get saved, whenever you first meet Jesus, and that in that moment when you get free of something, or that just that feeling of that burden lifted off your shoulders. And you know, I just wanted to really just write some lyrics that kind of just portrayed that, and to create a song production-wise, and that just felt good. You know, it felt like that moment, what that would feel like. And so really that's where it came from, just wanting to write a song like that and wanting to have something fun on the record and the set. And you know, a lot of the lyrics kind of just paint different metaphors, different pictures of what that feels like when you get free, when you get saved, when you meet Jesus. And you know, so and then the bridge is like this, you know, the story of salvation. You know, I was lost and now I'm found. You know, I was bound, now I'm free, I'm alive. And so, man, it's really just meant to be this celebratory thing. And I love, as I've been leading worship, you know, for a while now, I really love leading people to a place of celebration, really just helping encourage people to say, hey, this is something to celebrate. Jesus is something to celebrate. This is good news. You know, there's a reason.
Sometimes we feel like it's not okay.
Yeah.
To like get excited and be celebrated. And
for sure. And
contrary to popular belief, it is okay.
It is okay. And it's good news. You know, it's something to be celebrated. And I find myself a lot leading worship, just as I'm, you know, kind of encouraging people in the middle of songs, I'll say, let's celebrate this together. You know, I just really kind of found that as a thing, just this revelation that I've had. And so I just wanted to write a song that in some way, you know, just portrayed that. So
cool. Well, awesome, man. Well, show us how to play it.
So it's super easy. It's the same 4 chords, really only 3 chords, but it's the same progression the whole time. And I'm kind of doing it with the bass note on the E string here, and then the 3rd on the G. So those 2 together. So for the F, you're going like that, 1st and 2nd fret. For the G, 3rd and 4th fret. For the A minor, you're going to go just both on the 5th fret and back. So that's really the verses and everything are in that progression. And then in some ways I'm going up high just to kind of give it a little bit of a lift, a little bit of a different feel. But it's really the same chords, same notes, just an octave up. So I'm going here on the A and the B string. I'm going to the 8th and the 10th fret like that. 10th and the 12th for the G. 12th and 13th for the A minor. back to the 10th and 12th. So you can kind of create the same thing up here as down here. And that's kind of just acoustic version. I'm kind of just picking like this. If you wanted to kind of strum it, you could do the same thing up here with these. But it's really just the same chords the whole time. Super easy to play, super fun. You can kind of just forget about what you're playing and just have fun with it.
And you could play just the normal F, G,
yeah, you
and
could totally
A minor
just
at the bottom. But why?
But I mean, that's what you want to do. But this has a cool little melody to it, you know, which is like kind of the acoustic is a pretty big part of the song on the record. So it kind of is like a hook, you know. Now, so that's how you play that.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for coming and sharing it with us. Appreciate it.
This is what freedom feels like. This is what freedom feels like. This is what freedom feels like.
There's a space in every beating heart. There's a longing that reaches past the stars. There's an answer to every question mark. There's a name. There's a hope flowing through these veins. There's a voice that echoes through the pain. There's an ember ready for the flame. There's a name. We will fix our eyes on the one who overcame. We will stand in awe of the one who breaks the chains. Love has a name. Love has a name. Jesus. Love has a name. Love has a name. Jesus. There's a joy that triumphs over fear. There's a laughter that wipes away all tears. There's a presence changes atmospheres. There's a name. We will lift our eyes to the one who overcame. We will stand in awe of the one who breaks the chains. Love has a name. Love chains. Love has a name. Love has a name. Jesus. Love has a name. Love has a name. Jesus.
Kim and Jeffrey, great to see you guys.
Good to see you.
Thanks for sharing these new songs with us. It's always exciting to hear new Jesus culture music. And we've gotten to live with these songs for a few weeks now. And I was actually in Sacramento the night that...
Nosso coração. Precisamos, meu Deus, de uma experiência sobrenatural com o Senhor. Nesta